There you go. Drop it right there. Strip, strip, strip. You're right in front of them. Yep, keep it moving. Oh, those are big daddies.
Fish on.
There we go.
Nice.
Keep going, keep going. Yep. A little faster. Come on, guys. And then you want to eat it.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Right on that last little.
Keep your a little higher. There you go. Yeah, watch that oysters there. They hit you all the way over there.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Captain Steven coming at you. It is blowing 50 outside. It is January, so we are not on the water today. We're going to be tying a fly. We love to fly fish for redfish on our charters, and so on these nasty storm days, I like to get caught up on my fly box and restock that bad boy with some nice juicy critters. So this one is called the creek critter. I tie this. It is kind of a mix of a variety of patterns that I've seen. But it's kind of my own little deal. I love to throw it for redfish at low tide in little oyster creeks and up on the flats. They crush this fly. It kind of mimics a mud minnow or a little shrimp or a little crustacean. I put lead eyes on it so it kind of hovers along the bottom, and they absolutely destroy this thing. So let's take a look at the materials we're going to use, and let's tie this bad boy up. Alright guys, so the hook we'll be using is an Umpqua jig hook. This is a size 2. Right here, I really like this hook. It does great at not getting hung on oyster bars, because once you put lead eyes on it, it likes to ride point up. The lead eyes we'll be using are just standard. You can get colored eyes, red, chartreuse, doesn't matter. These are just plain lead. 1/40th of an ounce is my favorite for this fly. Does really good job getting that fly down, but it doesn't sink too fast. Sometimes we'll use some eyes on it, sometimes we won't. These are the easy shrimp eyes. Sometimes we use red, blue, black, a whole variety of colors. For the tail, we'll be using some rabbit strip. And this is just a tan barred rabbit strip right here. I like the rabbit strip because it floats, and so it gives it kind of a Z-Man action, if you will. It'll cause the fly to kind of stand up like this, which is really great. Also on the tail is some Farrier Flash Blend. This is a shrimp tan color, but we'll be tying some of that in right there. And then some rubber legs to add for little antenna and just more presence in the water. Oh, and then our body is some minnow head, some EP minnow head. This is a shrimp tan color, but again, you can mix and match any color. I like some greens like that. I mean, all kind of any color you can think of. Some black and purples, a whole variety of stuff. All right, guys. So now that we cover the materials, let's dive right in and tie this fly. All right, guys. So to start, I like to use some 210 thread. It's good, strong thread. We're gonna get our hook in the shank here. We're going to go ahead and wrap our thread base. Get a nice, strong thread base so we don't have any spinach, flippage, anything like that. Sorry, we got my kids in the background. Our 7-month-old, very vocal right now. All right, so for our tail, you can vary your size of the tail, but for this, we're going to do a hair longer than the hook shank. So we're going to pull that back, and we're going to give it a trim right there. And then we're going to trim off a little bit of that front part, and that'll be about the perfect size. Peel that layer away, expose a little bit of the flesh of the strip right there. And we're going to put the flesh side up, hair side down. because remember, this hook point's gonna be the opposite when you're fishing it. So we're gonna pull that like that. Go ahead and tie that in right in the back, a little bit behind the point of the hook. Go ahead and get that nice and tight. All right, guys, so we've got our rabbit strip tied on. Let's go ahead and flip this over like so. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in our easy shrimp eyes. Again, we're gonna do red, but you can use any color. We're gonna go ahead and lay these down like this, all the way back to the bend of the hook. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that on. Okay. Get a nice good wrap. Nice and tight. Just like that. All right, let's go ahead and add in some rubber legs. And we're gonna get 2 of these. I like this black and gold color. So for these, we're gonna make sure that the flat side is down on the shank on one side of the bend, and then right on the top of the other. So they're both on the top. That way they'll look kind of like little shrimp antenna when it's back there. Start out with a couple loose wraps, like so. It's still kind of loose, and then we'll start to snug it up back towards the eye of the hook. I'm just gonna wrap that all in like that. All right, there's one. Let's go ahead and add in our other one. I really like the black and gold flash that this gives, and just gives the fly a little bit of a bigger presence in the water, and this adds some vibration to the water. And that's, again, that's why I really like that rabbit tail. It's because it's just like a paddle tail on a soft plastic Z-Man. You know, it kind of helps it float up. And even if the fly is sitting on the bottom doing nothing, that rabbit strip is up floating all around. Okay. So, all right, so we got our two little shrimp antenna on there. We're gonna grab some of this flash blend. We're just gonna go ahead and pull a little off, just a little patch, kind of like that. Not too much, not too little, just a nice little mix like that. We'll go ahead and cut that off and tie that in on the top, just like this. Remember, always use a kind of a gathering wrap, and then on your second and third wraps, then you start to tighten that up. All right, so we are actually already past our halfway point. Let's go ahead and grab some minnow head here, some EP minnow head. This is a 1.5 inch, works great. I'm gonna grab a strip. All right, guys, so we got our minnow head 1.5. It's that shrimp tan. So we're gonna go ahead and tie it in right here. We're gonna wrap our thread all the way forward. Bear's already calling for me to go fishing. And then we're gonna grab our minnow head, we're gonna wrap it forward just like this, okay? Be sure not to accidentally wrap in your antenna. We'll take a wrap, pull it back, take another wrap, pull it back, just like that, all the way forward, about 3 or 4 wraps. Looks like we'll do about 4 or 5 here. Let's do one more. Always save room for your lead eyes at the end. All right, so we're gonna fold that back. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna pinch on the wrapping strand and try and clean out some of that fuzz. Like that. And now we're gonna run our thread through there and tie this off as cleanly as possible. You don't wanna gunk up the eye of your hook with a bunch of fur and fuzz. So after we get that, we're gonna get a nice trim here, like so, and we're gonna go ahead and clean all this up. Get all the fuzzies away, no fuzzies. We don't want that fuzz in our life. All right, so let's go and clean this up. Do a couple more wraps, throw a nice thread base on here for our eyes. like so. Now let's go ahead and flip this back over. We're almost done. All right, so now we're going to grab our 1/40th ounce lead eyes. You can use 1/80th if you want it to sink slow, or some bead chains, but I like this 140 is a good all-around weight. So we're going to throw these on top like so, and then we're going to do some cross wraps and just really get these locked in on your fly here. This fly really works great, guys. I've taken it offshore, caught amberjack on it. Speckled trout love it. I'm sure snook would gobble this up down in Florida. And hopefully this year we can possibly get a chance to go try it on some bonefish. It is my wife and I's 5th anniversary coming up this year, so hopefully we're going to do a destination trip somewhere. Not sure, maybe we'll go to Alaska, but maybe we'll go Caribbean. All right, so we got those locked on. Let's go ahead and clean this bad boy up and finish it off. Just do a couple, build a little thread base here on the front. You don't have to, but I generally do. Like so, and then we're gonna whip finish. Not gonna explain this. Look up a Lefty Cray video how to do it by hand, or you can get a tool for this. So get a good whip finish there. I always do 2. So there's 1, and then we'll go ahead and do 2. And there you have it. So now we'll go ahead and glue this bad boy up, and your fly is ready to fish. All right, guys. So a lot of people like to use the UV system. I don't fool with all that. I love to just use some good old Loctite super glue on my flies. This fly right here will catch 20 or 30 fish or more before it falls apart. Just a drop of Loctite, and then I'll just take a needle and make sure I get it all worked in on the thread head there. Let's go and do it one more drop. And this really just seals it up, gives it a nice hard coating, because again, I'm fishing major, oyster bars and hard, heavy cover with this fly, bouncing it on the oysters, around trees. So if you don't really lock this baby up and give it a nice, good, solid, strong head, then it's going to fall apart on you after a fish or two, or after a couple oyster bars. This is the Creek Critter. That's our finished product. You can trim the tail, the body, you can trim off the legs a little bit. I kind of like it rough like this, a rough finish. It seems to fish really well like this. But yeah, there you go. Hope that video helps. To fish it, all you got to do, a nice slow strip pause. If it's cold, you want to work it slower. If it's fast, or if it's hot, you want to work it faster. Anyway, guys, that's it. The boys are going a little crazy behind us. Got to go deal with them. Tight lines. Captain Steven signing out. We'll see you next week.